And a good Friday to you, everyone. Hello, neighbor. I'm MaryTherese Griffin. Glad to have you along on this Friday edition, Friday, April the 10th, for your neighborhood news. Still very overwhelmed and excited about all of the creative neighborhood news that folks send in. Thank you so much for that. As promised, we have a very spectacular interview for you today. We are going all the way out to Colorado to Fox Hollow Animal Hospital, and we have with us Dr. Tim. Hi, Dr. Tim.
Hey guys, hey everyone out there. How you doing? I'm MaryTherese.
We are doing fantastic, Tim. Thank you so much for being with us. I was telling everybody that you had a guest appearance a couple of times this past fall on Hanging with the Hendersons, which is filmed at Fox Hollow where you work, yes?
Yeah, exactly. We had about 12 weeks of filming out here, which translated into 12 episodes. It was a pretty wild experience, getting to see what goes on behind the scenes to make entertainment for everyone. It was really cool.
TV's hard work, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, it's hard work. You're right.
I have to say this, Tim, full disclosure, Tim is my nephew, and so thanks, buddy, for saying yes to this. We've had lots of great questions that we wanted to share with you because clearly we're all going through this really interesting time in quarantine and lockdown, but you, I know, are working very, very long hours at Fox Hollow. So can I get to some of the questions that our viewers have about being quarantined with their pets?
Absolutely, let's roll.
All right, so the first one actually comes from Perry, Georgia, and Georgina and Mike want to know about giving dogs extra treats because they're in lockdown a lot longer. Georgina says, I don't think it's a good idea. We should be on a schedule, but I think Daddy wants to keep giving treats because they're there and they see them all the time. Good or bad idea?
Right. Sounds like my house growing up, actually. I would say we have to be modest about treats because even though we're spending more time with our kiddos, we may not be going on any more exercise adventures. I do encourage you guys to get out there and jog or walk with your pets, but maintain that 6 feet social distance rule because the last thing we would want is to spread the virus just when we're trying to get some fresh air. So, I think that the treat thing, it's hard to it's hard to eat every single meal with our kids and not want to share with them. They certainly know how to turn on the puppy dog or the kitty cat eyes. But
they know how to work it.
It's about that. You're right, exactly.
For sure. Yeah, that brings up a really good question. You talk about spreading the virus, and we have a question from Mike in Ohio who wants to know, can you get or give COVID-19 to your animals?
Yeah, that's a hot button topic right now in veterinary medicine, and to be honest, we're still not sure. There's been some reports across the world of cats and maybe 1 or 2 dogs. Actually, recently, a couple tigers in the Bronx Zoo have tested positive. We think, and there's actually a virus that is historically, a big time problem in cats. That is the coronavirus, and we're noticing that they might be able to at least come down with the virus or at least be infected, but we don't know if they can be infectious back to us. We're assuming, based on the number of cats that have tested positive compared to the number of people, that people are the much bigger problem, and they're going to be the more, problematic reservoir for us. But the general advice is that if you are experiencing any symptoms, try to stay away from your cat. If you have a significant other, have them take care of your pet, and don't let your cat go outside. If your kitty cat gets outdoors times, it's best to keep them inside if you are experiencing any symptoms, just in case we do learn later on that they are a potential vector for the virus.
Good point.
It looks like they are. It looks like, thankfully, we're not going to be able to get it from our pets. Our pets might be able to get it from us, but it looks like their illness is much more mild and kind of restrained than it's turning out to be.
And you bring up a really good point, Tim, that for folks who have kitties that are inside outside, if they have these symptoms, perhaps because they talk about the droplets being airborne, maybe the cat can pick those up and then walk with those, and then then you're spreading the disease even further. So I think, am I clear? That's what you're telling me. Don't let them go out, but stay separated from you in the house.
Exactly right. They're still studying so much, and even in the human medicine world, there's so much still to be learned. What we're really worried about, or one of the main things we're worried about, is the potential for them to be fomites, meaning if the virus particles get on the cat, and the cat might not get infected because it doesn't get into their respiratory tract or what have you. If another person pets the cat and then mistakenly touches their face or something, then they could potentially be a vector for transmission, even if they themselves are not sick. And so it's all about being careful. And I guess if you're doing a good job social distancing yourself, then the same can probably be said for you and your animals not interacting with other people as well. But just be smart. If you're experiencing symptoms and you living with a creature, try to let their exposure to other people, be limited as well.
So Amy in Las Vegas has a really great question. She said, I've been in quarantine, so to speak, with my animals. She's got 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 birds. And she's been there for almost 3 weeks.
Nice.
She wants to know, is there such a thing as separation anxiety when this is all over and she goes back to work? How do you handle that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually hadn't thought about that. I would say that there is probably going to be a non-negligible population of our pets who experience a big shift going from, I'm going to hang out with my person every day to they're gone all the time again. But hopefully those pets who did, have that lifestyle in the past will be able to make a smooth transition back to when society gets back a little towards normal. One thing that I'm a little nervous about is puppies and kittens. And they may think that, life is all about hanging out with your person all day long.
Right.
So I think that there is a potential. I think there's a potential for some challenges there, but just like anything else, I think given some time and letting them get used back to the normal schedule, I'm hopeful that not too many of our friends will need like any sort of anxiety meds or anything like that, and hopefully they'll make a smooth transition as we make our own kind of unknown transition back into normal.
Sure. What one piece of advice as a vet do you have for our viewers out there? Maybe something that has surprised you during this crisis time. What do you want people to know about their pets and what's happening right now?
I would say that the big takeaway from this moment in veterinary medicine is that when people get a chance to spend more time with their critters, they tend to invent things that may be going haywire. We've seen a lot.
Their mind is running away with them, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
They're like, I think we got to get out of the house maybe. No, I'm just, we have seen a few limps that were hard to really find, or complaints of lameness or limping that were hard to find whenever we got the critter inside to do our exam. But really the main thing is, just try and be judicious. If your kiddo's due for normal vaccines, that's something that can probably wait for now. If there's something that you feel is emergent and can't wait, if we really try and put this off until May or later, your pet is going to have some deleterious effect on their quality of life, then that's something that should be seen. But, some of the other things that may be more cosmetic or vaccine kind of wellness routine appointments, those should probably be put on the back burner, not necessarily because we don't want to see your kid. It's just that we're trying to limit the amount of exposure we all have, person to person and pet to pet and person to pet, vice versa. So, I would say just a lot of people who spend a lot more time with their animals are maybe having the placebo effect. I think there's a limp there.
Yeah, no, not so much.
Right.
Well, Tim, I know you're working some really long hours. Thanks for taking the time. And much like everybody else in the country. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just telling you thank you. And I know that your personal life has been disrupted because you and Chelsea were planning this beautiful wedding in June, and now it's been pushed. So We're praying for you guys. I know it's hard. Please give Chelsea our love and tell her that we'll be there.
Well, I broke up a little bit at the end, but yeah, the wedding is postponed, unfortunately. But, we also realize that there's way bigger things out there.
Mm-hmm.
We're still, of course, looking forward to it, and we're ready to celebrate. And it might be the first time that a lot of people get a chance to get out there and get some fresh air and celebrate something normal and happy in the world. So,
right.
We're excited to maybe be able to provide that for our friends and family. But we totally recognize that there are people going through major crises and a lot of just like challenges in their personal lives, and those things are primary importance. So it's important to keep perspective and make sure that we keep in a good scope on, okay, there's bigger things out there that people are worried about right now.
You got that right. Well, listen, best of luck to you and to Chelsea. Chelsea's a vet as well. And thanks for what you guys are doing to keep all of our fur babies safe. Really appreciate it. You take care, Tim. We'll talk to you soon. Love you. Thank you.
Thanks, MaryTherese. We love you too. Thank you, everyone out there. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Tim Bills from Fox Hollow Animal Hospital out in Lakewood, Colorado. Thank you so much for doing that, because we've had so many different questions. Everything from what's going to happen with my pets to what can we do to make life at home a little bit easier. So you know what? We're here to try to answer your questions. Something else we want to talk about too. As you notice, we've made a couple of changes to the show. We've got producer Nicole in Americus. We now have producer Julie up in Virginia. We've got Lisa out in Massachusetts. We've got Colonel Bob on the camera. And we have all of you making suggestions. Don't move around so much. You're making me dizzy. Don't wear those earrings. They're distracting. My favorite is my mom, who said, "Why are you trying to be a brunette?" Not trying to do that, Mom. It's my roots. Everybody else has them too. Y'all are a tough crowd, but it's okay. It's all right. Still want your input, still want your suggestions. Every day that we do this, we're going to try to make this a little bit better and have even more awesome, creative, fun news, uplifting news. We do have a new Facebook group. So I had a page, but I got a group now too that's open to the world. Tell your friends about it. You can put your news there, or you can email your news to us at neighborhoodnews2020@gmail.com. All right, gang, we are going to jump right into some neighborhood news, and we're going to start off up in Connecticut, okay? We have this awesome story out of Connecticut. The kids there in Suffield, Connecticut have been out of school since about March the 13th. So Hugh sent this in to let us know that his kids were making signs for the teachers. They were missing the kids. Well, guess what? The teachers were missing the kids as much as the kids were missing the teachers. So how did the teachers find out what these signs were? Take a look. They had a parade going through the neighborhood. If I can get the volume up here. They had a parade going through the neighborhood, and the students, there we go, were able to see the teachers, and the teachers could see the students, got to see all of their signs. There were about 50 teachers going from neighborhood to neighborhood, led by the police, finished up with the fire department. Very well done, Suffield, Connecticut. Very well done. Great way to bring the teachers and the students together. So now we're going to scoot down to Macon, Georgia. Lisa decided that she was not going to let COVID-19 stop her game night. Nay, she said. So she said that she's very excited that they discovered the Zoom app. And these are her and her friends. That's her husband, Jay. They're up there in the corner. And she said that they had Ask Alexa night, if you can imagine that. She said that was hilarious. Plus they had a surprise PowerPoint for a friend game night, which she called, quote, crack-a-lackin', which I'm sure means hilariously funny. So way to go, way to stay true to what it is that you want to do, Lisa. And folks, another opportunity to try to invent something fun to do at night check out all of these apps that are available where you can bring people together at the same time and still have your game like Lisa did down in Macon. Now we're going to head up to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And this is where Amy says, you know, I've always been one to buy overboard when it comes to school supplies. When it comes to things around the house like books, she's a pack rat. She never throws them out, and it's a good thing. She said this prepared me for coronavirus because now her 3 kids are at home and they have a lot of constructive things to do after they do their schoolwork. So see, when you have those boxes around the house, don't think it's something you got to donate or get rid of. Lo and behold, you open it up and you take it out and you can use it with your kids. We're going to go down to Warner Robins, Georgia. Victor sent this in. He's got a beautiful garden around his home, but he put up his Faith Over Fear cross. Now, you may have heard a lot about Faith Over Fear. It's a group on Facebook that was created, and we're going to have much more with Faith Over Fear. But given the fact that this is Holy Week, and let's face it, I think we've all either re-embraced our faith or found new faith and are certainly spreading it. This is absolutely beautiful. Victor said that it kind of took a village to put this together because the birdhouse is from a young lady. He says young lady who's 98 years young named Cleo Tatum. And he said that someone gave him the cross yesterday morning, but he wanted to show that God shows us every day that there's beauty in the most difficult of times, and you have to be able to just stop and smell the roses. So thank you so much, Victor, for that. And I am going to call you and talk you into letting us do a video tour of your gardens down there in Warner Robins because I know they are stunning. All right, this is a story I'm quite sure you've seen, but it's so worth repeating. Tyler Perry, yesterday, actually Wednesday, when it was Seniors Day, and most of the grocery stores have the first hour that they're open, they'll allow seniors to come in. And on Wednesday, he paid for the groceries of senior citizens, 28 stores down in Louisiana and 44 Kroger stores up in Atlanta paid the bill for all seniors that were there. Wow. And he did it anonymously, by the way. He said, just tell them that an Atlanta angel paid their bill. But you know what? In true Medea fashion, that news got out quicker than you could say Medea is in front of Judge Maybelline once again. Way to go, Tyler Perry. You rock the Casbah. Thank you for taking care of our seniors like that. And thanks, by the way, to the stores who are opening the first hour just for senior citizens to make sure that they can get everything that they need as well. All right, let's talk about the other side of the coronavirus for a second. I've said that this is all uplifting news, it's all positive news, it's all news that you can use that hopefully is going to better your life. By the way, our hashtag on this show is spread kindness, not a virus. Remember that? Stay home, spread kindness, not a virus. But let's talk about the statistics for coronavirus. And they're startling and it's sad. But you know what, folks? As my mama likes to say all the time, tell us the rest of the story. Mom, this one's for you. We're going to tell the rest of the story here. Is it important to know that there's 1.6 million cases of coronavirus in the world? You bet it is. It's important. We got to know it. Is it important to know that 96,000 people as of this morning have died from coronavirus? Absolutely. But guess what else is important to know? More than 361,000 people have beat the coronavirus. Let me say that again, because you're not hearing this. It's called being fair and balanced. More than 361,000 people have beat the coronavirus. And if you want to break it down even further than that, that is more than 26,000 people in the United States have beat the coronavirus. That is from Johns Hopkins University. And speaking of beating the coronavirus in the United States, this lady. This is a pastor out of Michigan, Margaret Campbell. She's from Detroit, and she is one of the 26,000 plus. She shows that God wins, and she defeated COVID-19. Way to go, Pastor. Congratulations and blessings to you and everyone who is dealing with this terrible, terrible disease. All right, So there are still more bright spots to show you from coronavirus. Can you believe that? A bright spot? Take a look. This is getting some buzz. Do you know what this is? These are the Himalayas. Here's a view of the Himalayas in India. Well, guess what? It's been 30 years. You can't, this is unreal that you're seeing this. This is what 3+ weeks of quarantine and no traffic and no pollution has done. So just to give you some perspective, this was taken the other day. This is what it normally looks like. Yeah, those are Himalayas behind there. Let's bring it closer to home, shall we? This was taken 2 days ago. Ladies and gentlemen, that is downtown Los Angeles. That's downtown Los Angeles, California. This is what it normally looks like. This is what it looked like 2 days ago. So, are there better things happening because of this crisis? I would say yeah. We got to find that silver lining somewhere, somehow. Even with all of the bad that's happening there, there are some good happening on Mother Earth right now. Some things are getting better. All right, folks. It is time now for our Mythbuster portion of the program. Now, I know you can see this, and the question is, does putting on sesame oil block the coronavirus from getting into your body? This is from the World Health Organization. World Health Organization made a poster out of this because somewhere, somebody put sesame oil all over themselves thinking they would protect themselves from coronavirus. No. In fact, the World Health Organization says that there are certain chemical disinfectants that can kill COVID-19, and they all have some form of bleach in them. The other thing that they want you to understand right here on this poster is it's very extremely dangerous and harmful for you to put bleach products on your body or even under your nose. Apparently, some folks think that if they put that stuff under their nose, it would kill the virus from coming in. That's a big fat no. So let me just say this. If you are sitting at home thinking that I'm in quarantine and man, do I have the answer to keep coronavirus from getting in my body? No, you don't. You don't. Just don't do it. You're going to end up on a poster with the World Health Organization or the CDC, and then we're going to have to talk about you. Don't do it, okay? Mythbuster, right there. Sesame oil, great for cooking, not for putting on the body. You're welcome. All right, now, I told you, I gave you a little tease about what we're going to do for Tuesday's show, our special guest on Tuesday. So I'm going to pull this up, and hopefully you're going to be able to take a gander and see who this is. Do you know who's going to be our guest on the show on Tuesday? Let's see. Well, must be the Wi-Fi in the house. Here we go. I know you recognize the music. Grammy nominated, multiple gold albums, 6 #1 hits. We're talking about legendary country music group Restless Heart. Their lead singer, Larry Stewart, is going to join us Tuesday. And we're going to talk about what the quarantine has been doing for them up there in Nashville, how their lives have been adjusted, what they're doing. We're going to talk about visiting the troops. That's how Larry and the fellows in Restless Heart and I know each other. We were all in USO shows together back in the day. And Larry's a good egg, so are the rest of the guys in the group. You put out the call and go, hey man, I need you, and there they are. So join us on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Larry Stewart from Restless Heart will be here. Yes, he will have his guitar. We'll have some tunes as well. So looking very much forward to that. Hearing songs like this, That Rock Won't Roll, Bluest Eyes in Texas. You know everybody's favorite love song, right? Yeah, he might play that as well. So be sure to join us Tuesday, 4 o'clock, and you can send me your questions for Larry Stewart as well. Are you a Restless Heart fan? Let us know. We'll be happy to ask that question. All right, so that cat's out of the bag now. We want to also recognize that we have a neighborhood challenge. Now, last week's neighborhood challenge, which was pretty funny, we had a neighborhood challenge last week on junk drawers. 38 of you sent in your junk drawer pictures. Well, neighborhood challenge this week, plain and simple. This came to us from Carla in Birmingham, Alabama, because it's Easter weekend. I gotta tell you, she was a little hacked off that there was a reporter up in the White House a couple days ago who blurted out, what do you say to the American people who this is the first time ever they're not able to celebrate Easter? I understand her frustration. And Carla, I will say, that's probably not what he meant to ask or meant to say. Because by cracky, we're all celebrating Easter. It's just different. Maybe we can't go to church. Church isn't just the building folks. The church is the people. So she has a great challenge. Send in your pictures. What are you doing to celebrate Easter in this very unusual time? It could be your Easter dinner, however modified it may be. Perhaps your faith over fear. Photos that you want to send us. How are you celebrating? Because you know what? Miracles do happen. Historically, think about what happened today when Jesus died. Yeah, if you don't believe in miracles, check out what happens on Sunday. Easter Sunday. 3 days, right? So that's what we want. That's your neighborhood challenge. Send us how you're celebrating Easter this year during this COVID-19 crisis that we're having. Thank you very much, Carla, for that. Now, what we want to do is, again, recognize that it's Holy Week, and we do have some prayer requests, so we're going to get to those really quick. We want to make sure always, every time, that we ask for prayer for our frontline workers, our hospital workers, police, firefighter, the grocery store workers, pharmacy workers, and our truck drivers. We could not be getting through this without them, so we ask for prayers for them. Dalton in Maryland has asked for prayers for his mother who is fighting COVID-19. Sarah in Jacksonville is asking for prayers for nursing home residents in that area, so we certainly hope that the Lord's healing mercies will be with them. Now, we do have a request from Jenny in Atlanta. She wanted me to tell all of you that she works for the Department of Labor. And she said that she would like for prayer for everybody in state departments of labor. They're very overwhelmed right now, and they're working really hard to make sure that everybody can get the financial assistance that they need. So this is for Jenny and all the Department of Labor workers all over the country. We're with you. We're going to have patience, and we're going to pray for patience and pray that everybody is taken care of. Thank you, Jenny. And on the praise side of the house, just one thing, just one bit of praise today, but it's the biggest praise we'll ever give. We want to thank God for sending us his only son, Jesus, because he made the ultimate sacrifice. And boy, was there a miracle to come on Sunday. So thank you so much, God, for doing that for us. All right, folks, that brings us to the end of our show. I want to thank Dr. Tim out at Fox Hollow in Colorado for being with us to give us pet advice. Be sure to tune in on Tuesday at 4. Again, we're going to have country music legend Larry Stewart from the group Restless Heart with us. And we certainly would like to welcome new viewers, new comments, and new creative ideas and news from your neighborhood. We want you to be our neighbor, but spread the word. Let's make our neighborhood worldwide. As we get ready to close out, I want to thank, this is still the Polish part of the program, I want to thank producer Nicole down in Americus, Georgia. I want to thank Lisa up in Massachusetts. I want to thank producer Julie up in Virginia. Thank you so much for your input. And you can't see them, I can, but I'm going to show them to you. That's my Colonel Bob on the camera, who makes everything work. So thank you for helping to make this show not so Polish, Bob. He married into a Polish family, but he's not Polish. He's honorary Polish. So you may have seen this last video that I want to show you as we close out, but it's certainly worth showing again. And it's a great way to end this show, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm telling you what, this little one, and what a terrific message. And thanks, by the way, to the Boston Globe for having some of the best version of this video so that I could share it. Take a listen, folks, and just know that what this little boy sings of is absolutely true. Everything's going to be all right.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause everyone.
We'll try that again. Here we go. It's buffering. Don't you love buffering? All right, you know what? I'm going to try it again. Let's come out of that. Here we go.
Don't worry about a thing.
Don't you just love life?
Gonna be alright. I woke up this morning on my horizon. 3 little birds were on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melody blowing true. And they said, this message is you. They said, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
That's 4-year-old Rylan Clark from Massachusetts. Thank you so much to his parents for sharing this. Thanks to the Boston Globe. Happy Easter, everyone. We'll see you Tuesday.